Goldylocks Productions broadcasts universal cosmic frequencies that unlock, awaken, and expand the consciousness of our worldwide viewers and listeners. Welcome to the Transformational Soul Show with your host, Ruth Soltman. Are you ready to experience more stability in your life? You can change your life and be who you are meant to be, your authentic self.
Hi, everybody. Good morning. My name is Ruth Soltman, and I am the host of the Transformational Soul Show. And I just wanted to say good morning to everyone and happy new moon today. I wanted to let you know that now my show is streamed live on my Facebook page, the Transformational Soul. So if you check that out, you can watch the show live right from there. You can also go there for the replays. It is also still available on YouTube, and it is streamed there as well. So please, I ask you on Facebook if you would go to the page and like it and share it with your friends. I really appreciate that. I wanted to let you know a big change with the show. Starting next week on Wednesday, I believe that is February 17th, my show is going to be moving to Wednesdays, and it's going to be moving to a new time, which will be at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. So I hope that time fits well with your schedule and you can still, join us here, because that would be wonderful. I would like to say good morning to everyone, all of our regular viewers out there that tune in every week. And I also like to say hello to anybody that's new this week. It's pretty exciting, the people that show up every week to show their support, and I really appreciate you guys. I also wanted to let you know about the super chat that's available through YouTube. And you must be logged into your account, but you can go on super chat. You can super chat or send a super sticker, and you can make a donation or a tip to this show, and it does help to keep the show running. That is, now we have a new feature where you can also do that on Facebook, and you don't have to be watching the live show. You can also do it during the replay, and that is done through Venmo. So if you have a Venmo account, you can go on there and make a tip or donation to the show, but please specify what show that it's for and what show host, so that it goes where it's appropriately meant to go. And just know that any tips or donations that you do give are truly appreciated, and they do help the show to stay on the air. So last night, I was thinking about the show, and I pulled a card for everyone. And the card that I got was Cognizance. And what this says is it's Archangel Uriel. Archangel Uriel says to pay attention to thoughts and ideas that come to you, as they are answered prayers. A few minutes before the show this morning, I pulled another card. And this one is Clairsentience. And this one is Archangel Raguel telling you to notice your recurring physical and emotional feelings as they signify divine guidance. And I was thinking back to the show last week when I was talking about how you're already getting divine guidance and information. You just might not be aware of it. And then when I pulled those cards, that just confirmed that for me, that you're getting divine information. You're getting information from the universe, from the angels, through all of your senses. And right now you might not be realizing that, but if you really tune into that, you will realize where that insight is coming from. Good morning, Sarah. How are you this morning? It's so good to see you. So I wanted to talk a little bit about, before I forget, I wanted to talk about my book, Metamorphosis A Journey of the Soul. And my book does have a Facebook page as well, and it's the title of the book. And you can go on there, if you've read my book, you can go on there and leave a review, as well as Amazon. And just know that those reviews are greatly appreciated. They help other people, when they see those reviews, that helps them to make a decision on whether or not they want to read the book. And as the more reviews that I get on Amazon too, it helps my book to be seen more in the searches. And my book was intended to help people going through their spiritual journey, just as we're all on a spiritual journey our whole life, but during my awakening process. And my intention was always to share my experiences and help other people know that they're not alone. Show you ways to get through some of the difficulties and help you to live a fuller life and to be able to express yourself authentically. So I just wanted to throw that out there because a lot of weeks I forget to tell you about my book. I know a lot of you that are regular viewers probably already know, but I just wanted to put that out there today. And Sarah says she's doing good. Well, I'm so glad to hear that, Sarah. I wanted to talk a little bit about like my thought process and what I do like for this show. I don't ever have a planned agenda. I talk to the angels and just let them guide me. And, usually it's like right before the show. But this week we had a nice conversation Monday night, and they just gave me all this stuff that they wanted me to talk about today. And a lot of it ties in with what we've been talking about. A lot of it ties in probably with things that you've been hearing this week. But before we get into that, I want to find out how many of you accepted my challenge from last week. Now, maybe you don't remember what that was, but I challenged each one of you to step outside of your comfort zone, to do something outside of your comfort zone. So I want to know how many people did that. If you did, I want to know what you did, how it made you feel. Just drop it in the comments, and I will tell you what I did this week, totally outside of my comfort zone. So I was moving all day Saturday and trying to situate my stuff and unpack on Sunday. And about 12:40, I got a message from someone who wanted to know if one of their students could do a reading for me, a tarot reading. So I hadn't showered. I was a mess. It was on Zoom, which I've never done anything on Zoom before. And it was 20 minutes before she wanted to do it. So my first thought was, I was exhausted and I probably looked like death warmed over. And sometimes when I have to do something quickly like that and it's technical, my energy goes a little wonky and it doesn't quite work out the way it should. But I said, I'm going to do it. So I did. And I was so happy that I did because it was a wonderful reading. It was just spectacular. So I took that step outside of my comfort zone. I didn't really have too many issues with Zoom. Once I got on there and figured it out, it did take me a few minutes, but it wasn't too bad. And I was pretty excited that I did it, even though, it was a step outside of my comfort zone because it was a totally new format to me. So that was pretty exciting. Oh, super. Thank you so much, Sarah, for your super sticker. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. I'm going to pick a card for you, Sarah. Yeah, I'm going to put these back in because you never know. You might get one of those cards too. It's always interesting, with the cards. And I will tell you this too, that when I first started this show, the whole thing was a huge, gigantic leap outside of my comfort zone because I never so much just, made a personal video. So this is was really huge. And like every week I think, wow, this is something like I never would have done in the past, but it feels so differently now. I guess it's because I know it's what I'm supposed to be doing. But also when I started doing the angel card readings on here, that was the first time, I've ever done it in a group setting before. I've always done just one-on-one readings. So that was a huge step outside my comfort zone too. But the more that I do that, I've noticed my abilities growing. Because what will happen is, I'll ask the angels guide me to what Sarah needs to know today. What message do you have for Sarah? And then when I pick that card, I'll get, I'm getting goosebumps all over. I'll get images in my mind and words will just come out sometimes. But now I'm getting like very vivid images, which I didn't before. So that's like totally so cool. I'm pretty excited about that and pretty happy about that. And like, I don't think about what I'm going to say. I just let it flow through the angels, or flow through me from the angels. So what do the angels want Sarah to know? And when I pick a card, when I choose the card, I'll look at it and I'll think sometimes, well, what significance does that have? It doesn't have any to me, but it does to the person that is receiving it. And Sarah got the courage card. And I have to say that this card comes up all the time. And this is Archangel Ariel. Be courageous and stand up for your beliefs. And it's not just being courageous and standing up for your beliefs, Sarah, but it's standing up for everything that you are, everything that you desire, everything that you want, manifesting what you want, believing that you deserve it, and believing that you can manifest it. Excuse me, I need some water again. Courage isn't always easy to come by, but when you can face a fear and step out there on courage, you're blessed. You're totally blessed. And that, that's something that, that's something very natural and raw. And it's something that's very beautiful too. Now, I wanted to talk about, my intention is to help you peel away the layers of who society and people told you should be, the layers that keep you stuck and stagnant. I want to help you to heal. I want you to forgive. I want you to discover your gifts, and I want you to and your passion, and I want you to share that with the world. I want you to step out into your power and become the best version of yourself that you can be. And you cannot compare yourself to anyone else. Someone else might do something, might, cook better than you. Okay. But there's 10 things that you do better than them. You cannot compare. It's like comparing an apple with an orange. We are all such individual people. And it's so important to remember that. I mean, you see kids like, they have their little group of friends and they look alike. They do the same things. They have the same mannerisms. They haven't realized yet, that they are their own unique individual people. And it's good to be different. If everybody was the same, how boring would our life be? If every single person liked everything the same, we all wore the same clothes, we did the same things, life would be a drag. It's the variety and the uniqueness that makes it so much fun and so interesting. And we can always learn something from everyone. Everyone can teach us something. And we can teach everyone else something too. Now, you have been destined for greatness. And humanity needs you now. You need to realize who you are at your very core. And you need to share that light with the world. It's kind of like a potluck dinner. At a potluck dinner, we all bring a different dish to share with everybody else. Well, when we come down here to this earth plane, we all bring a different gift. Now, we both might have the same gift of painting, but our paintings are not going to be the same. They're going to be like our fingerprints. They're going to be absolutely unique to each of us. So we come to this table, each with our own, oh, it's thundering. We're getting a thunderstorm. Each with our own dish to share with everyone. And then we're all sitting there and we have our food spread out. We have this humongous feast. And we all bring something different, but we share it with everyone else. And that's how it is with our gifts. When we share our gifts with the world, everybody benefits. Um, I benefit when I'm sharing my gifts because I've taken the courage to step forward and to shine my light. I've taken that leap of faith totally outside of my comfort zone. So that empowers me. So that's a win for me. Now, you benefit when I choose to shine my light and my gifts. And that is because you see that I do it. You see I can do it, and oh, that's pretty easy. I think I can do that too. Or that's really cool. I think I'm going to share my light and, spread love all around the world. So that's a win for you. You're stepping into that place of, the unknown. You are shedding your fears. And how could that not be a win? Everybody wins because when you do share your gifts and your light, you raise your vibration. And as we know, what happens when you raise your vibration is it has that ripple effect and it spreads out everywhere, all over the universe. It raises the universal vibration and consciousness. So that's a win for everybody. So can you see how important that this is? You can't let anything, not anything, hold you back. You have to tell fear to take a back seat. This is more important than fear. You have to tell doubt that it doesn't live here anymore. This is more important. You fulfilling your purpose and sharing your gifts with the world is more important than doubt. You have to tell yourself that you are enough. A lot of times that is the root problem of why people don't, share their gifts. They don't feel like they are worthy. They don't feel like they are enough. But I'm going to tell you something. You have so much to give. And by denying the world that, that is the only way that you will not succeed or you will not be enough, is if you don't even share it. You have to do that. You have to step forward out of your comfort zone. Good morning, Malele. Oh, Malele says, I needed to hear that. Thank you. Well, you are so welcome. Sarah says, thank you. You're welcome, Sarah. I'm so glad everybody's here this morning. But it's just so important that you do this. Now, if you have that feeling that you should be doing something and you're not, what happens? You get that really deep, heavy feeling inside you because deep in your core that you're not doing what you're supposed to do. And once you start doing it, you will feel this lightness. You will feel all this like pressure lift from you. And it does, like I said before, it does not have to be anything, monumental. But we all have something that we came here to do. And it's so important that we do it, especially now. Humanity is awakening, at a very accelerated rate. And it's a great time to start doing this, to start getting at the core of who you are and living your authentic life. And so when is the best time? I mean, is it good to put it off until later? No. Now is the time. Now is the only time we have. Don't wait another day to do anything, because we don't know that we have another day. And it may sound kind of sad or morbid to some people, but it's very true. The only time we have is right now. And that's why it's so important to act now. You don't want to put it off any longer. Like Wayne Dyer always said, you don't want to die with your music still in you. Those gifts that you have, those passions that you have to assist your gifts into fruition, start using them now. There's no reason to wait any longer. There really isn't. You don't want to look back 20 years from now and say, oh, darn it, I really should have started doing it 20 years ago. Why didn't I? I know there's a lot of reasons that people don't do this. Some people have the illusion that they're not good enough, and they think that what they do won't matter, but that's not true. You do matter, and what you do matters immensely. It matters to you, it matters to me, and it matters to everyone. Because when you do it, it's going to have that ripple effect out there. And so I want you to get rid of that illusion that you're not good enough. And you need to shed the illusion that you won't make a difference. You need to, shed the illusion that you can't do it. Make up excuses of why. Oh, I'm too old. I'm too old to start something like that. Or I don't have the financial support, or blah, blah, blah. You know, we make up all these excuses all the time, but it's just something holding you back. And you have to figure out what that is. You have to get rid of those fears, because that's only fear talking when that little voice says, oh, you're too old to do that, or why would you want to start that now, or you'll never succeed. That's just fear talking, and you have to stop listening. What you can do is ask the angels. Ask the angels for strength. Ask the angels for courage. Ask them to help you, feel confident and step out there and do what you need to do. You can ask them for assistance. They are always there waiting for you to ask. You just have to ask. And I know sometimes it's hard. Sometimes we don't like to ask for help, but that's what the angels are there for. You have a whole army of angels. When you think about it, you picture that army of angels with you, behind you, or in front of you, beside you, wherever you feel comfortable. And they are there to support and help you. Now, how confident do you feel with an entire army on your side? I mean, it's crazy. We don't always think of it that way, but that's exactly how it is. We also have all of our ancestors that have gone before us. Do you think they're sitting over there on the other side, not trying to help us? Of course not. They're always there, rooting for you, trying to nudge you in a certain direction, They want you to succeed. And all of your angels, all of your guides, you have lots of guides too. And they're there to help guide you. Some are there to protect you. Some are there to guide you on your journey. They're there for different specific reasons. But I truly believe that we picked these people, before we incarnated. And over time, you can remember who they are. You can meditate and get into this place where you can meet yours. And I did this. I had asked Melissa Parks on her show when I first started watching her show if she could tell me the names of my angels and guides. And she said I could, but they don't want me to. And I thought, oh, great. They said they want you to learn that yourself. And I did. And it was just like so exciting to me. And then, once I did figure it out, I asked her, is it this person, this person, this person? And she said, they're telling me yes. So it was really cool. But I did this meditation on how to meet your spirit guide. And in this meditation, I saw this man, and he looked like a character from a TV show. And I didn't place him at first, but when I thought about it afterwards, and so the name of his character on the show didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. But when I looked him up, I saw what his actual name was, not his real name. And that was the name of my guide. Now, that's probably not what my guide looks like, but that's how they showed it to me so that I could figure out the name of who that person was. And, I have felt this person's energy. It's a very strong energy, and it's a very protective energy. And you can do the same thing. It's through meditation. And, I can call on this person, my guide, talk directly to them, and, ask for their assistance as well. So we got some messages up here. Sarah says, I'm not sure if this counts as going out of my comfort zone, but yesterday I gave something I've been collecting for 20 years to one of my friends to sell on eBay for me. Well, I'm going to tell you something. If you've been collecting something for 20 years, you have an emotional attachment. And yes, that is totally, totally going out of your comfort zone. I'm very proud of you. I bet at first there's that sense of grief and sadness for letting it go. But then there's going to be that feeling of you did it, you stepped out of your comfort zone. And no matter what the reasons are that you are doing it, it doesn't even matter. But you're going to feel lighter and you're going to feel really proud of yourself. I know when my mom passed away, she had a lot of stuff. And a lot of her style and everything wasn't stuff that I liked very much. Some of it I did, but not a whole lot. And this was some stuff she had since in her family since she was like a child. So part of me was like, I have to keep it, but I really didn't. And it was hard getting, letting go of some stuff. So I can understand that feeling because we have emotional attachments to things because, we might have something that, that our grandma gave us. So we have that every time we look at it, we have that fond memory of that. And my mom was very attached to her things. And I used to tell her all the time, she'd say, well, I can't get rid of that because blah, 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 blah. And there's a story behind every single thing she had. And I said, even if you get rid of the items, you still have the memories. So just remember that, Sarah, in case you do feel a little sadness, over that situation, that you always have the memories of those items and what they meant to you, even though you might not have the items anymore. So that's an awesome story. I'm really proud of you. Devin says, hi, hello, howdy, good morning to everyone. Good morning, Devin. Nice to see you. Sarah says, it was hard to let go of them, but it did, and I was proud of myself for doing it. Awesome, Sarah. That is so amazing. So now that some more people have checked in here, I just want to let you guys know, and I'll mention this again at the end of the show, that next week my show is moving to a new day and time. It's going to be on Wednesdays. So starting next Wednesday, the 17th, I believe. Yes. It will be on at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. So I hope you guys can check that out. So now I'd like to get back to a little bit talking about the new moon, because today is the new moon. And what does the new moon mean? The new moon is all about new beginnings and planting seeds. So think of your life as a garden. And you've got this beautiful garden. Sometimes some weeds will pop up. But we know how to take care of those, right? But what we're going to do is we're going to plant some new crops or flowers or whatever you want. So think of what you want in your life. Plant a seed for it. Seed of kindness, seed of love, seed of, maybe you need courage, seed of courage. Maybe you're lonely and you're wanting more love in your life. Plant the seed. And when we start this and this is a great time because, next month, spring is going to start too. And we're planting these seeds now with the new moon. And then as long as we take care of them and we water them and we think about them and we give them lots and lots of love, attention, and positive energy, they're going to start sprouting up and they're going to keep growing. And, it's just, I love spring. That's always been one of my favorite times of the year. And yes, it could be because my birthday's in the spring, but I just love the whole idea of, I grew up in Michigan, so spring was really great because, we had those winter months where all the trees, the leaves would fall off and everything looked dead. And then in the spring, it would all come back to life. So I always thought spring was like so amazing. And this is what we need to be doing right now in our lives. We need to be planting everything that we want to grow and spring up in our life. And what is the best time to do that? Now. And the fact that right now we have the new moon, I think just really helps to reiterate that fact that this is what we need to be doing. Now, when you do that, it's just like, besides planting our little garden with our seeds, this is a great time to start living in your purpose, to start your healing process. Because what better time to start than with the new beginnings of the new moon? So it's a really good time to start that healing. And, once you do, you're going to feel so empowered that you took your control back. You're going to feel so empowered that whatever is holding you back is gone and you made it go away. And that's going to help empower you as well. It's scary, you know, stepping out into the unknown. I totally understand. But that's where you're going to find your rewards. You really, really are. I know you can do anything. I know that you can manifest anything. You have to know it. You have to believe it. You have to feel it deep inside of you. You have to see it, or you have to believe it until you see it. And if you believe it, you will see it. You have to just live it, breathe it, let it consume you. Really, just let whatever it is you're trying to manifest, just let it totally consume who you are. And that energy that you put out there of what you're trying to manifest will be matched by the universe. And if the stronger you put it out there, the more the universe is going to send it back to you. And that's when you can really start to see, you know, how your manifesting is working. You know, you'll start to see these things. And then you get really excited because you're like, wow, did I really bring that to myself? Well, yes, you did. But, you know, some people just don't really see that, and they'll say, oh, that doesn't work, or I could never do that, or, you know, I can't believe that you think these kinds of crazy things. But they're not crazy. We do it all the time. You know, how many times have you thought to yourself, you know, this friend of mine, you know, Mary, I haven't talked to Mary in so long. I would love to talk to Mary. Maybe I should call Mary. And then Mary calls you or messages you. And you're like, wow, you made that. I mean, you put that energy out there, and that's why it happened. And we do this every day in our lives, and a lot of times we just don't even realize it. So Devin, we were talking about Devin and, let's see, Malele. Malele, I don't think Malele was here last week, but last week I challenged everybody to do something outside of their comfort zone this week. So Sarah had talked about what she did, and just if anybody else, you know, accepted that challenge, then go ahead and put it in the comments. And I'm going to pull a card for Malele. And these are my my Archangel Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue. And I'm really glad I have these. These are pretty much my favorite cards. And you really can't find her stuff anymore. So this card is from Malele. What do the angels want me to know? It says indigo and crystal children. This is Archangel Metatron. You have a bond with children. In particular, you can help children who are sensitive. I don't know what you do, or if you work with children at all, or if you just have a real love for children. But I can totally see children around you, looking up to you. So I don't know if that's in your personal life, your professional life, but, and this, you know, could also refer to your inner child. You need to nurture your inner child and honor those sensitivities. That's what they're telling me. And honor yourself. And, you know, while we're talking about that, self-care is so crucial. So many people, and, you know, I mean, I do this too when I get really busy and stuff. You know, I put other things first, and I let, like, my own personal, you know, things I know I should be doing for myself, sometimes they fall to the wayside. We're only human, and it happens. But we need to take much, much better care of ourselves. And self-care isn't just about, you know, what kind of foods you eat. Eating higher vibrational foods, you know, will help to raise your vibration. And I know just off the top of my head, that's a lot of fruits and vegetables, but you can look that up and see, you know, if that's something that you're interested in. And, you know, movement. You don't have to run a marathon, but daily movement is important for your not just your physical health, but your emotional and mental health. Being out in nature is great self-care. There's so much wonderful healing energy out in nature. If you're, blessed enough to have a lot of trees around you, go over there and hug them. My granddaughter, when she was only like 2 years old, we'd be outside and I showed her about hugging trees. And she said she could feel the energy from the trees. So every time we'd go somewhere, she'd be hugging trees. And her mom just like, what is she doing? Oh, she's like, Mommy, I'm hugging a tree. I just thought that was pretty awesome. And you can feel energy from the trees. They have a lot of energy. And, they're very, especially some of the really big older trees, they're just so majestic. And, you can feel the bark on them, and it's got a certain texture, and it has a certain scent, and you can feel the energy. You can just feel the energy. If you have like an area where you can go like out into the woods, that is just so amazing. And it's like totally quiet. You step on a twig and you can hear it, echo practically, because it is so quiet. But it's such a wonderful environment. And of course, one of probably everyone's favorites is somewhere by the water. I have a almost 6-year-old granddaughter whose favorite place is the beach. And every time she goes there, she's like, Grandma, this is my happy place. She just loves the water. And the water is very healing. If you can't go to the beach or the ocean or a lake, take a bath, because the water is very healing. It helps get some of that negative energy off of you that we pick up from other people. And taking a shower is really awesome because it just washes it right off of you. And if you think about that as you're standing in the shower, you just visualize that water coming down and just washing away any negative energy that you have. And it's very powerful. And I get a lot of ideas, like a lot of thoughts, because when I'm in the shower, I clear my, I'm not thinking about anything, just think, oh, this water feels great. And like a lot of times ideas will come to me. It's just hard in the shower because I can't write them down. And sometimes by the time I get out, I've already forgotten about them. But that's just how it works. So, that's great. And taking a hot bath with some Epsom salts or something, or some essential oils, it can be very soothing, especially if you've had a rough day or a stressful day. It can really help with the stress and tension. And, that is a big component of self-care, because we don't want our bodies to be stressed. We don't want to live in that state of anxiety and stress all the time, because it's not healthy for us. It's not healthy on any level, not physically, emotionally, mentally, or spiritually. We need to try to balance ourselves. And, there's a lot of ways we can do that. And meditation really is a good one. I know I talk about that a lot, but it's just like, it's kind of like such a wonderful escape. If you've had a stressful day, put on some headphones and listen to a guided meditation. It'll take you somewhere else totally. And you'll just feel so refreshed and relaxed. And, I don't know all the specifics of what all it does to your body, but, physically you feel it. And not just in your head, like mentally or emotionally, but you feel it all over the place. And depending on what kind of a meditation you're doing too, because I've done meditations where, like from head to toe, my body was vibrating, and it was a really, really cool experience. I mean, that hasn't happened to me every time, but it's pretty intense. And then there's other times when I start meditating and I fall asleep. When I first started meditating, I always, for years I hear people talk about meditating. I think, I want to do that. I just know I want to do that. It just sounds like something that I would really like. So when I first started meditating, I would only be sitting there for maybe 3 minutes, and I would fall asleep every single time. Yeah, I don't understand. I just can't meditate. I don't know what this is. It's just not working for me. But after a while, after you practice, and the more you do it, the easier it gets, and the faster I think you get into the zone of the meditation. Because I think sometimes when we have these busy lives and everything's hectic, like as soon as you sit down, you're exhausted. So what are you going to do? You're going to fall asleep. So once we meditate when we're not exhausted, it makes it a little bit easier. And they have some meditations where they tell you they want you to sit. Other meditations will tell you to lay down. Laying down is just the bomb, because it is just the most relaxing sensation that I have ever experienced. So I highly recommend meditating. Does anybody out there meditate like regularly, or even just once in a while? Because it can really help, especially now, during all those pandemic stuff and all the different things that are going on in the world. People, we're experiencing things we never have in our entire lives. And sometimes it gets really, really intense. And meditation would be a good escape from that. And if that's even your thought process of, oh, I'm going to use meditation to escape from all this, there's nothing wrong with that. The meditating is going to benefit you so much. I was just shuffling through my cards, and one card turned over on its own. And again, remember I told you that this card comes up a lot. I know one week it came up 3 times for me. And I know I've watched Melissa's show, and she talks about this card a lot too. And it's Archangel Ariel. Be courageous and stand up for your beliefs. So I don't know the reason that they are reiterating this information. That card wasn't for anyone specific. It just fell over in my lap. So I figured I would relay the information to you. But, life takes courage. Sometimes it takes courage just to get out of bed. Everyone's situation is different. Some people may wake up and they're so depressed that just the act of getting up out of that bed, is the most courageous thing that they could do. Some people live in physical pain all the time, and moving around takes a lot of courage and guts, because they know every time they move, they're going to be in pain. And I am so grateful, that I'm healthy and I don't have, those kinds of issues. When I was in my 20s and 30s, like my mom, she had always had, from the time she was a teenager, she had arthritis, and she suffered from that all the time. It was very, very painful for her, especially in, with certain joints and stuff. And when I was in my 20s and 30s, she used to tell me, she said, Ruth, wait till you hit 40. Oh, just wait. She said, you're going to wake up in the morning and you're not even going to want to get out of bed because every part of your body's going to hurt. I said, no, it's not. She goes, I'm telling you, once you hit 40, that's it. I'm like, that's not going to happen to me. Okay, so I'm going to be 58 in like a couple months, and it still hasn't happened to me. And I was thinking about it because the fact that I put that out there, nope, that's not going to happen to me. That's not my reality. I was very sorry that it was hers, and, I didn't like to see her suffer in pain. But I claimed that was not going to be our reality, and I manifested it, because this is like, 20 years later or more. And, the only time I might be a little sore is if I overdo it with something, like when I moved over the weekend and moving stuff that maybe was a little too heavy or whatever, and I got up the next day, I was like, well, I'm a little sore, but nothing like what my mom talked about, because I put it out there that it wasn't going to happen. I said, I will wake up feeling good. I will wake up, I put it in a positive way, not saying I'm not good at this, because you never want to put out there what you don't want. You want to focus on what you do want. And I'm very happy to say that is still the case for me. Let's see. Okay. Sarah says, that's beautiful. You can hear the heartbeat of trees and earth in general. You can. You really can. Sorry, I dropped my cards. That's so true. And it's just such a beautiful energy. I've always loved to have plants or flowers inside as well. It's like when you walk, if you go out and buy a bouquet of flowers and you have them sitting on your table, you walk into your house and you immediately can feel a different energy. It feels so fresh and new, and it's just I don't know, it's just such a wonderful feeling. Um, and plants as well. And plants give off a lot of plants are very healthy for our indoor environment. There's a lot of benefits to that too. Not just that they look pretty and, they respond to music, they respond to us talking. I've seen experiments they did where they would talk negatively. They have one plant here and one plant there, and they would talk negative to the one, tell it it's ugly and you don't matter and things like that. And the other one, they would always say, I love you, you're beautiful. Well, the one that got all the negativity died, and the other one bloomed and flourished. So they feel the energy that they're around too. And let's see. Linnell says, I fell asleep for a year before it kicked in. Stick with it. Sleep to get it going worked for me. Yeah. And when you do the guided meditation and you do fall asleep, if you have the headphones on, your subconscious is still listening to it. It's not like it's for nothing. And sometimes in our subconscious mind, when we're asleep like that, the information sticks even better, because sometimes we put our own thoughts in the way and we get in our own way. We just have to step aside and, let the powers that be take over. Well, says that's how it was for her. Yeah. Oh, okay. I see. All right. Devin says, meditation has helped me with my Parkinson's. Well, that is awesome. Really happy to hear that, Devin. So it's been probably very relaxing and very healing for you. Do you do guided meditations? Do you do it with music, or just total silence? Because I know everybody has, does like something different and has a different experience. Linnell says, now running incredible energy with my quick time. Truly another mind-blowing level. Very interesting. Well, Devin, I'm going to pull a card for you. And then I'll pull one for Linnell. And if I miss anybody else, just let me know, please. Okay, what do the angels want Devin to know? Oh, there we go. It says, two of them actually came out together. The first one is overcoming difficulties. And Devin, this is Archangel Jeremiah. And Archangel Jeremiah says, the worst is now behind you, and you are surmounting any previous challenges. And you also got divine order. And that is Archangel Raguel. Everything is how it needs to be right now. Look past the illusion and see underlying order. So what I'm feeling is that you've had some difficulties, and your difficulties haven't been working out in our human timeline or order, but know that and trust that everything is working out for you in divine timing. And, there's no clocks on the other side. So there's only now. And when we live in the now, we can help to bring that inside of us. And, I love it when I'm so busy doing something or preoccupied with something that I don't even look at the clock. I don't like being I don't like it being a crutch or a, I can't think of the word I want, but, I like it when I just let my day flow and I don't worry about the time, and then it's more like you're living in the moment, because you're doing what you're doing now. You're not looking at the clock and, oh, I'm going to do that at 11. I mean, I know, with life the way it is on Earth, we have to have that kind of reference, people work from this hour to that hour, kids go to school, or we have appointments, and that's the way it runs. But when you can sit in that now and be present, it's a very enlightening way to see things. Ooh, Divine Order card just came up again. So that's a good message for everyone. We have things that we want to do, and we're always, thinking, I want this now, or, I'd like to get this by tomorrow. And it's all in divine order. Everything is happening exactly as it's supposed to. Everything happens for a reason, even though we might not know what the reason is. It does happen for a reason. We have to trust that. I've lived by that my whole entire life. And, I say it all the time. And sometimes, I just say it without even thinking about like who's around me and stuff. It just comes out. And sometimes people will be like, yeah, you're right. I just wish I knew what that reason was. And then other people will look at me like, no, it doesn't. That just sounds silly. But so many times in my life, something would happen and I think, wow, why did it happen like that? And somewhere down the road, it would become very apparent why it happened like it did, and something that will blow you away. If you think about something, like just for instance, you go to the grocery store and you got the first spot at in the parking lot, and you're like all excited because you got that first spot, and you were meant to get that first spot. Think about every single thing you did that morning. If you would have done anything a second or two off of the way you did it, that spot wouldn't have been available. And I see this in my life a lot of times where something will occur and like all these things would just like fall into place. And you could just completely see that it's not something that's in your control, but all these things will fall into place so that this one thing can happen. And then when you look back at it, you're like, wow, if one little thing would have been even a hair differently, half a second, all of this would have been thrown off. So if you really look at situations in your life, you will see that divine timing is everything. And, it is totally out of our hands, but that is how we always live our lives, And we got a card that fell for Linnell. Let's see if we can find it. No, I guess not. I guess we will pick another one, Linnell. That one fell under my something. I can't find it. See, that wasn't meant to be. It's not the card that they wanted for you. Okay, Linnell. What do the angels want you to know today? Clairsentience. Archangel Raguel is telling you to notice your recurring physical and emotional feelings as they signify divine guidance. Now, this was one of the cards, interestingly, that I pulled before the show for the group. And like I was saying earlier, there was another one. It was the Cognizance, I believe. The angels are trying to tell you that they are communicating with you on every different level. They're communicating to you through your thoughts, through your through what you hear, through what you see. They are constantly communicating with you. We need to quiet ourselves and listen. And I know we were talking about this last week. That's why I got pretty excited when I pulled those two cards before the show, and one was Clairsentience and one was Claircognizance, because I feel like the angels are telling us, yes, we are communicating with you all the time. You guys just have to listen. And, it can be in a song. So many times I've been driving and I'll have the radio off. And then all of a sudden, I'll just get the urge to turn it on. And when I do, it's like that perfect song that I needed to hear for whatever was going on in my life. And things like that happen a lot, but we don't always pay attention, or we don't always make the connection. And, it's really important that we do make that connection. Then we will realize that we're always being divinely guided. We're always getting messages from the angels and, and the universe, that we just aren't always tuning in. So that's something I'll challenge you this week to do for next week. I want you to start paying attention to things you notice, whether it's a message you get from the song, or, maybe it's a dream. Maybe it's an actual voice that you hear where there's no one there. Maybe it's a number you see or a picture you see. But I want you to pay attention this week and bring those examples next week, and, we can all share that. That would be pretty cool. So that's your challenge for this week, is to tune into the divine messages that you're already getting, through your intuition, through the things that they're showing you or telling you, but just pay attention. Devin says meditation. Oh, I've read that one already. Okay. Devin says, thank you so much, Ruth. Meditation is best at night before bed, to relax and shed the day's stress. I agree. It is. And it's a great way to drift off to sleep too, especially if it's at the end of your meditation, because that meditation puts your body in such a state of relaxation that you get a really good night's rest. I just wanted to remind you guys one more time about the super chat and the Venmo features that we have, for making donations or tips to the show. Venmo is through Facebook, and you can do that during the live show or after, during the replay. But on YouTube, the super chat and super stickers are only available during the live. And just know that I appreciate you greatly, and any donations that you may make. And it does help to keep the show on. So that's a huge benefit. I want to remind you again that next week I won't be here on Thursdays. I'll be here a day before on Wednesdays, and that will be at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. And I also want to remind you now that the show is streamed on YouTube, but my show is also streamed on I have a Facebook page just for the show. It's called the Transformational Soul. So if you can check that out, that would be great. I'm going to add some information on there about the show this week. And I haven't gotten to it yet because I've been busy with the moving and stuff. But I did start a page for the show, so it will be live streamed there. Some of you are watching it from there right now. So if you go ahead and like that, and please share it on Facebook, so more people can see it. I'm pretty excited about the new day and time next week. I think it'll be a little bit of a different energy, and not good or bad. I'm not saying that, but just might be a little bit different. It's going to be at the end of the day for everybody, and people might be a little more stressed. They might be a little more relaxed. Who knows? You just never know. But I want to thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you guys more than you will ever know, and I really want to thank you all, and for all of the love and support that you have given me. And Tiffany, our wonderful producer here at Goldylocks Productions, she is amazing. She's the most wonderful person, and she's so loving, kind, and supportive all the time. And I just want to thank you, Tiffany, because I don't think I have before, and I apologize. But you're just such a wonderful person to know, such a wonderful person to work with. And I always look forward to my time with you. Thank you so much. And, I'm really grateful that I got this opportunity and I can be here with you guys every week. It's just been so much fun for me. And I really, I feel like we're a family. I see like a lot of the same people are on here every week, our regular people. And every week or so, we'll get a couple new people. And it's so much fun. And we're all just sharing our love and vibrating higher. So I just want to thank you guys. I love you all. And I want you guys to have a really, really great week until I see you next week. So work on that, listening to those angel messages. And let's see what difference it makes in your week. I love you guys. Bye.
Become a Goldylocks Productions VIP patron.
Receive exclusive access to live stream special and other epic perks. Join the Goldylocks Productions VIP community today.